In the intricate tapestry of criminal narratives, some individuals find themselves entangled in a life of wrongdoing. For some, crime becomes a sort of creed, a way of life. There are those who, instead of fearing law enforcement, choose to pursue a life chasing other criminals, seeing them as mentors and inspiration. In this particular case, even the police seemed oblivious to the extent of the accused's criminality. The accused confidently asserted that a simple procedure was all that was needed to execute a crime, a methodology embraced in the chilling narrative that follows. Enter the infamous figure known as Charles Sobhraj, whose full name is Hachin Bawanani Gurumukh Charles Sobhraj. A cunning, talented, and intellectually astute criminal, he reveled in the thrill of criminal pursuits. None could rival Charles in the realm of criminal brilliance. Yet, one cannot help but wonder if, under different circumstances, he could have redirected his abilities towards performing deeds of merit and finding faith in more noble pursuits. Regardless, Charles Sobhraj's story takes a dark turn as he metamorphoses into the notorious serial Bikini killer. To delve into the origins of Charles Sobhraj's intriguing story, we must journey back to April 6, 1944, when he was born in Vietnam. His family history is marred by turbulence, with a Vietnamese shopworker mother and an Indian businessman father. Abandoned by his father, who vehemently denied paternity, Sobhraj's mother sought solace in the arms of a French soldier, exacerbating the familial discord. Sobhraj's troubled childhood unfolded against the backdrop of his feeling, ignored and struggling. To adapt to his new surroundings, he harbored the belief that his actual father had deceived him from a young age, creating a sense of alienation from his family. The first brush with the law occurred during Sobhraj's teenage years, an experience that instilled fear of incarceration. Undeterred, he ventured into dealing narcotics, engaging in petty crimes, and eventually progressing to car thefts. The year 1963 marked a significant turning point when he was sentenced to prison for burglary, finding himself housed at Poissy Prison near Paris. Behind bars, Sobhraj leveraged his influence to secure exceptional treatment, even enjoying the privilege of having books in his cell. It was during this period that he forged a friendship with Felix Descon, a wealthy young man volunteering at the prison. Upon release, Sobhraj's life oscillated between the elite society of Paris and the criminal underworld. He honed his criminal acumen, accumulating wealth through a series of heists and con games. It was during this phase that he crossed paths with Chantal Compagnon, a Parisian woman from a conservative family. Initiating a romantic relationship, Sobhraj proposed marriage to Compagnon, only to find himself taken into custody on the same day for attempting to evade the police in a stolen car. The authorities began to take notice of the crimes occurring in the wake of his romantic escapades. The narrative of Charles Sobhraj unfolds as a chilling saga of criminality, manipulation, and a brazen disregard for societal norms. His ability to seamlessly transition between the worlds of privilege and illicit activities paints a portrait of a man unbound by conventional morality. As the story unfolds, the darkness within Sobhraj's character takes center stage, setting the stage for a narrative that blurs the lines between fear and fascination. He received an 8-month prison sentence, yet Chantal stood by him throughout his entire incarceration. Following Sobhraj's release, he tied the knot with Compagnon. In 1970, he secured French citizenship through his mother, a natural-born citizen of Vietnam, a country that had once been a French colony. In the same year, Sobhraj fled France for Asia, accompanied by a pregnant Compagnon, aiming to evade potential arrest. Upon reaching Mumbai, India, using forged documents acquired during their travels through Eastern Europe, the couple embarked on a spree of exploiting fellow travelers turned friends. Upon their arrival in Mumbai, Chantal gave birth to a daughter in the city, whom they later named Usha. Meanwhile, Sobhraj resumed his criminal endeavors, traveling to Mumbai to steal automobiles and initiating a smuggling operation. His criminal network expanded into countries like Afghanistan, Bangladesh, and Pakistan, crossing borders, stealing luxury cars, and smuggling drugs and firearms became part of his straightforward yet cunning modus operandi. Sobhraj engaged in discussions about border crossings with people from around the world, handling financial matters with a tender touch. Charles Sobhraj's intelligence and self-assurance were innate qualities. Multilingual and fluent in French and English, he expressed. Eagerness to learn Urdu and Hindi in India. Gradually climbing the ranks in Mumbai, he began operating at the border, dealing in weapons and stolen cars. The Mumbai police apprehended him for operating several vehicles, but he was inexplicably released. His journey then took him to Delhi, the capital of India. In Delhi, Sobhraj attempted an armed robbery at a jeweler in the five-star deluxe Ashok Hotel, driven by the need for cash. Under the cover of night, he looted a substantial amount of money and jewelry. Afterward, he departed and headed to Delhi airport to travel back to Mumbai. However, distrustful patrons questioned the airport security personnel, prompting an inspection of the bag Sobhraj was carrying. The bag contained a plethora of jewelry and other items, creating uncertainty among the patrons. Sobhraj, sensing potential apprehension, decided to take matters into his own hands. He successfully exited the airport with the bag, but his luck soon ran out when the police apprehended him after an unsuccessful armed robbery. This marked the first instance of Sobhraj being taken to Tihar Central Prison. However, demonstrating his audacity, he managed to escape. Citing illness, he gained admission to the hospital, and with companions' assistance, he eluded capture once again. Sobhraj borrowed bail money from his father and subsequently fled to Kabul, the capital of Afghanistan. During this period, Sobhraj, proficient in multiple languages, targeted international tourists, exploiting his French nationality and linguistic skills to establish immediate rapport with them. His focus was particularly on foreigners, hippies, and drug enthusiasts. His modus operandi involved offering narcotics or drugs, building friendships, poisoning his victims, robbing them, and then making a swift escape. Over time, he progressed from smuggling to more heinous crimes, including robbery and murder. What began as a keen interest in smuggling and murder evolved into a dark obsession. In Kabul, the couple faced detention once again for attempting to rob visitors on the hippie trail, employing a tactic previously successful in India. Sobhraj feigned illness and provided the hospital guard with medication, securing their release. Subsequently, he severed ties with Compagnon, who, despite her devotion, vowed never to see him again, leaving their criminal history behind to return to France. Sobhraj embarked on a 2-year escapade, utilizing up to 10 stolen passports to traverse several Middle Eastern and Eastern nations. He cunningly gathered followers by manipulating them into situations where he could ostensibly rescue them, fostering loyalty through deceit. As the narrative unfolds, the story takes a darker turn at Pattaya Beach in Bangkok, Thailand. Foreigners, specifically targeted and drugged, met a grisly end through strangulation. Since around 1975, a disturbing number of individuals, both male and female, had lost their lives near Pattaya Beach. The initial discovery of a dead body in a pond adorned in a bikini led the police to believe it was an accident. However, the post-mortem report revealed evidence of strangulation. The mystery deepened with the discovery of a second body in a different location, also clad in a bikini. The infamous moniker Bikini Killer became associated with Charles Sobhraj in Thailand. The 2 victims found were young girls, adding to the mounting accusations. He was also implicated in the murder of French tourist Luc Salomon, poisoned in a Mumbai hotel. While initially sentenced to life in May 1982 for the 1976 killing of Israeli traveler Alan Jacob, Sobhraj secured an exoneration on appeal a year later due to insufficient evidence. Nevertheless, he remained imprisoned for prior offenses. India acceded to Thailand's request to extradite Sobhraj for the killings of Teresa Knowlton, an American woman, and a Turkish tourist in late 1985. This move exposed him to the risk of execution. In March 1986, he orchestrated a daring escape from New Delhi's jail by providing guards with narcotics and sleeping pills, laced candies. Days later, Sobhraj found himself apprehended by police at a restaurant in the beach resort state of Goa in western India, a place that now boasts a statue of Sobhraj wearing his iconic peaked cap. The jailbreak case faced prolonged delays in the Indian legal system, and by the time it went to trial, Thai authorities had lost interest in his extradition. Sobhraj faced charges of at least 15 murders across 10 different countries. Upon his release from Indian prisons in 1997, Thailand had run out of time to prosecute his cases. Following his release, Sobhraj sought seclusion in France until 2003 when he returned to Nepal. Renowned for his ability to elude the judicial system, he set up a shawl export company under a false identity. However, recognition came swiftly, leading to his arrest in Kathmandu for the 1975 murders of 2 tourists, Canadian backpacker Laurent Armand Carrière and American Connie Jo Bronzich. Held in a high-security prison in Nepal from 2003, Sobhraj received a life sentence in August 2004, serving 19 years of a 20-year sentence. The Supreme Court of Nepal's decision on December 21, 2022, saw Sobhraj released from prison due to health concerns. On December 23, he was set free, marking a chapter's close, and he was anticipated to return to France.